Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to cover what is Dragonbane. What is this fantastic product? What is this? It's a TTRPG from Free League Publishing. But there's got to be more, right? There's got to be more information that we can go off of to talk about Dragonbane, right? Let me take you over to the website. Let's go through this in detail. And then of course, at the end, I'll go through all of this. All right, here we are. So I went to the Free League Publishing website. I clicked on games and I clicked on Dragonbane. Okay. And this is the first thing that pulls up. Like, how freaking awesome is that? It's like I've got the GM screen, which we'll get to, in a minute. But just it's gorgeous. Johan is just an amazing artist, and we'll talk about Johan more. But Dragonbane, here we go. So it says it's for 12 and plus, players 1 to 6. Now it says 1 because yes, you can solo play. Like you can play the solo version of Dragonbane. And then it's up to 6 players. Now I have myself run up to 7 players, but that was at conventions, just trying to squeeze more people in. Now it does get a little clunky, but you can still do it, okay? You can still do it. It still runs pretty good. It's just, a little clunky. That's all. But it says Mirth and Mayhem role playing. It says Dragonbane is a classic fantasy TTRPG full of magic, mystery, and adventure. It's designed from the ground up to facilitate fast and furious play with very little prep time and adventures that are a breeze on the run, or to run, I should say. But this is a game with some laughs, offering brutal challenges for players, like legit mirth and mayhem. Like I can't tell you how many times I've played with a full party of mallards, the duck people in the game, and there's just duck puns all day long. And they're great. They really are. I love them. But along with that is the mayhem part. Like this is a very deathly game. Like I've had several TPKs, okay? I'll probably do a whole episode of just TPKs, but this game is very brutal, okay? Dragonbane is a translation from, oh, I'm gonna murder this. Drakar Och Diminar. Demoner. I don't know. I murdered that probably. It's Scandinavia's first and biggest TTRPG. It was originally launched in 1982. D&D didn't make it over to Sweden. It never got translated into other languages. So they had to use their own system to create something, and they give a lot of like thanks to Chaosium, where they kind of used BRP to kind of create something. And after multiple iterations and after the molding and whatnot, Dragonbane, here we are. So oh my gosh, it's just such an amazing game. But this is just some artwork that they have on the website for Dragonbane. It's so detailed. It's almost like retro. Like it gives me that vibe. But it's so good. It's just so good. I can't speak on it enough. Um, so the game itself, Dragonbane, it takes it's a skill based D20 system. Now, here's the cool part. It's a roll under. Okay, so each skill has rated from 1 to 18. Players need to roll equal the number or lower. So you need to meet it or lower. So 20s are bad. 20s we call dragons, or sorry, 20s we call demons. One ones we call dragons, okay? Um, Now cool things happen on both ends, on the ones and the 20s. Ones you get critical success, and there's things that you can do, but then with the demons, the 20s, there's critical fails, and critical things could happen. But the core Dragonbane game has 10 professions, including, the classic fighter, mage, hunter, thief, but it also has unorthodox like artisan, merchant, mariner, scholar. It didn't mention the bard. I don't know why, but the bard's in there too, and the bards are fun. Bards are really fun. The profession will also impact a player character's starting skills and give like starting heroic abilities. After the game starts, it's free to develop further in the way that they choose because it does give pre-gens in the system, like in the book. It gives pre-gens as far as talking about what you could do, but that's a whole nother thing we'll get into. So here we have it comes with a soft cover. Comes with soft cover books. And I'll be honest, I was not excited about soft cover. But let me tell you, I'm glad they did soft cover because it fits within the box. Like, we'll get to that at the end, but it fits within the box, okay? Let's just say that out loud. So the adventure book, the rules book, it's displaying the box right there for you. But this is all that comes within the box. Like seriously, you get the Alone in Deepfall Breach, which is the solo version of Dragonbane. You get initiative cards, improvised weapons, adventure cards, and treasure cards. And then these green dice. Oh my God, let me tell you about these green dice. They are just awesome. In fact, on the 1 and the 20, it shows both like the 1, it shows a dragon, and then for the 20, it shows a demon. And the way that they have like the 20 like written out, it's like the horns of the demon. It's really cool. Right here we've got this map. It's a gorgeous map. We've got Orla Moonsilver on top. These are the pre-gens that come with the actual the box. And then you get like a little play mat as well as standees. And these standees I've used a lot. I can't tell you how much I've used them a lot. I've run over 500 sessions, or not 500 sessions, but 500 hours of Dragonbane. I think I'm 160 something in sessions. So, I've run quite a bit, just saying. But I've used this stuff. It comes in very handy. So let's see here. It says the setting. The game is fast-paced fantasy adventures. It's set within a core mythology of the fantasy world, featuring the eternal struggle between dragons and demons. So dragons, you've got your law and order, and then with your demons, you've got the chaos. The ruins of fallen kingdoms, worshiping either their rival godlike creatures, beckon brave adventurers with the lore of hidden treasure. Because that's the whole goal of it, an adventure, right? Gold and glory. Like that's the whole point. So then you got a little bit more. It says in rather than describing entire continents, the core game focuses on the Misty Vale. It's a hidden mountain valley until recently overrun by orcs and goblins. In recent years, the orcs have retreated into the mountains, leaving the land open for explorers, settlers, and adventurers of other kin such as humans, dwarves, elves, halflings, mallards, and wolfkin. Um, the land lies open for adventure, and it does. It straight up does. So the Misty Vale is 150 kilometers north, south, east, west. You got the Dragonfang Peaks in the north, you got the Coomer Mountains in the south, and it is a mountain range surrounded within this area. And the area is great. It's got several events. Well, we'll get in all that here in a second, okay? We'll get into that here in a second. But this is the core part of the game. The core set and then the quick start guide that you can order physically. So 52, 44, 760, and that's not including like tax, that's not including shipping or anything like that yet, okay? But I'm telling you, everything that we just saw right here, like on the screen, all of this comes within the box, like the core starter set. Like, I can't tell you, that's a great freaking value. The rules are great. It gives you everything you need. The adventures, there's 11 published adventures within the book. And like I said, you get the map, you get the sorry, you get the pre-gens, you get the solo, you get the cards, you get the dice, and you get the standees. Like for $50, that's a freaking bargain. I'm just saying, that's a freaking bargain. And then the quick start guide. When I backed this on Kickstarter, I only had the quick start guide for a while, and I used it quite a bit. But then we got more the beta rules, and I actually have a printed copy somewhere. I don't know where it is. I'll show that to you some other time. But let's check out their downloads real quick because I think this is fantastic. You have character sheets, blank character sheets. You've got the pre-gen characters, and then you've got the maps for the secret of the Dragon Emperor, which that plays into the campaign setting for the Misty Veil. We'll cover the campaign setting on another episode, okay? So let me just click back real quick, and we're going to go to shop products. We're going to talk about the products that's also offered for Dragonbane. So here we go. Sorry, my heart's pumping a little bit because of this. Oh my gosh. So we got the bestiary. Okay. So within Dragonbane, the core set, you only get like a handful of monsters. Okay. You only get a handful. But it gives you enough to start the adventure, to, put your players through peril as the game master, as the interactive storyteller. Which here you go. You see, they actually have a hardcover rule book coming out. Right now, it's only in pre-order phase, but I'm really excited for it. The hardcover actually comes with a extra adventure in there called the Castle of the Robber Knight. I've actually played it multiple times, love it, a lot of fun. But I'm really excited to get the hardcover rulebook because that's what I'll be toting with me as well. Because like I'll show you at the end of this episode, at the end of this video, but I have a soft cover copy that I went to Staples, got bound, and that whole thing. But here's the bestiary. The bestiary offers so many more monsters. It's incredible. Um, and they kind of did the same thing where they broke them down into types, kind of like, D&D does. But you got the regular cover, and then you got this limited edition collector's bestiary. Of course, your boy, Mr. Dragonbane, had to get the collector's edition a while back. So, yeah. We scroll down a little bit further, and you got the collector's edition limited again for the rulebook. Of course, I got that also. I'm still waiting, that should be coming out here soon. But because there's new monsters, there's new standees, my friends. Okay, there's new standees. I'm so excited for these. Um, again, also on pre-order. Okay. um, but it just gives you more options that you can work with at your table. I mean, just I'm so excited. I could probably talk about Dragonbane just all day long. But give me one second. Let me find a couple things for you, okay? Let me get a couple things. All right, we're back at it. So as we were talking, um, so yeah, I've got multiple boxes. Okay. This one is kind of like my prized possession almost, because this is a pre-production copy. Pre-production, meaning this was like an example piece before the actual came out. Okay. So shout out to Doug Shute. He's kind of like the North American marketer, extravaganda. He's the guy for conventions over here in North America. Okay. So Doug Shute, thank you for this again. I can't thank you enough for it because this is the one I take with me everywhere I go. This is the one that, gets beat up, gets battered and everything like that. Like this is the one I take with me everywhere I go. Now, I do have a sealed copy because I had to buy one, sealed. But then I got the Swedish version. It's kind of like, Pokemon, you got to collect them all. I'm Mr. Dragonbane. I got to collect them all. All right, so I'll put that there. you can see my floor poster. So anybody that recognizes this, you probably went to Gen Con in 2023. And at Gen Con is where we had the huge release for Dragonbane. Okay. So with that being said, the last day of Gen Con, I just took that off the floor and took it with me. You know, I had to I had to have one. But as I was talking about earlier, the GM screen, it's really awesome. And the GM screen is very beneficial. I will say that. Um, Now I typically roll my dice like in front of it just because, but I really like the GM screen. And then of course I've got some quick starts. Now I've got the matte kind of or the matte quick start that comes from Free League. But I also have the glossy free RPG day, okay? Because it was part of free RPG day. And then I also have, of course, the Swedish version of the quick start. Like you had to, I just had to. Uh, so yeah. But this is what I was talking about earlier. So here is the Dragonbane. Basically, I put the adventure book and the rule book all in one. I've got tabs. Let me see. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. I got tabs all the way through. I've got signed by players and I've got notes in here. Like I put it all in one. It just made it easier. And then of course I've got the bestiary. So it's just so much good stuff. Oh, sorry, I got to do this too. This is can you see that? Yeah, it says Dragonbane. This is a dice tray. A friend of mine, Brian, shout out to Brian. Okay, if you're watching, shout out to you. Your little company that you make dice trays, you make all kinds of stuff. Minks Minks Monks. I'll put that down the bottom if anybody wants to get one of these. But that's all the Dragonbane stuff. Okay. But again, still, what is Dragonbane? I mentioned it a little bit when we were going through the website. It's a D20 system. It's a roll under. You have to meet the number or lower. Um, Skills only go up to 18, 19 and 20. They have to be left open. They want to kind of leave that room for failure, because not everybody is perfect. And I always give this representation. Even Gordon Ramsay, okay, could mess up ramen noodles. Just saying, he could. But, if you get your skill up to 18, you get a new heroic ability. Heroic abilities allow you to do cool things. There's kin specific, depending on what kin you play. And then there's general heroic abilities that anybody could get. Mages cast spells. They're going to use willpower. In fact, you'll use willpower to use your heroic abilities. Now, one of the things I really like about this game as a game master is the monsters. And there's two types of monsters. There's monster NPCs and monster monsters. Now, monster NPCs, they still have like skill levels that they have to roll to hit you or to do whatever they're trying to do. But monster monsters, they auto hit, they auto succeed. What? What? And this is what I was talking about earlier with the mayhem part of the Mirth and Mayhem. Because again, I'll talk about a whole TPK episode coming soon. Okay, look out for it next week. We're gonna do TPKs. But that being said, it's a very brutal game. If you bring your fifth edition concepts, and I tell this to everybody, and some people like continue taking it with them, if you bring your fifth edition concepts into this game, your character's not going to last. Okay, they're just not. So be mindful of what you boob. That's all I'm saying. Um, but I, I just can't speak enough about this game. It's really a great system. if you're a longtime player of fifth edition D&D, you'll fit right into this game. I'll do a character sheet breakdown to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. But if you played fifth edition, you can play this game. I promise you. I've taught 10-year-olds how to play this game. If they can play it, anybody can play it. Plain and simple. So that is kind of what Dragonbane is. And that's what I'm going to leave it on. Okay. So what I want you to do, okay, this is what I want you to do. If you've stayed this long, I want you to do this for me. Like the video, okay? Subscribe, obviously, so you can get more content. Go to my various pages, like them, because I'm always doing something on the other stuff. Of course, I'm talking about Dragonbane everywhere I can. It's what Mr. Dragonbane does, okay? But comment below. Is there something specific that you want to see? Is there something specific that you would like to know about within Dragonbane that I can go in detail? Let me know. Let me know what you think. And then we'll just kind of go from there. But as always, my friends, live on and game on.